This is Space Marine 2. It is peak Warhammer 40k gaming. You will not find a better game out there that sells you on the world of 40k. This is actually incredible. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say this is probably the best Warhammer game I have ever played that just puts you in the universe. You feel like a Space Marine. They nail absolutely everything. The combat is nailed. The movement of the Space Marines are nailed. The weapons are nailed. Everything is actually incredible here. Like, I cannot stress this enough. And this isn't me just waxing lyrical about it because, yeah, I am a fan of 40k. No, this is insane. If you guys have played Space Marine 1, this is an upgrade in every single conceivable way to Space Marine 1. What I will say, though, before we get into this video, is I do recommend you actually go and play Space Marine 1 before you play Space Marine 2. It is integral to the story, and there are callbacks to things that happen in Space Marine 1. The Codex Astartes does not support this action. Any of you pro gamers out there probably remember that. But yeah, I would go and play Space Marine 1 before this. But I mean, holy hell, guys. Let's get stuck into this. This game is incredible. The world they have built, the environment is absolutely incredible. If this isn't the most 40k thing that has ever existed, I actually do not know what is. So this is the battle barge. In and of itself, the design of this is just incredible. You can spend an actual eternity just walking around this place. You can go to the hangar bay, you can go to the crew quarters, you can go to the bridge, which is what we're on at the moment. I mean, look at this out the window. You can see the tendrils of that Hive fleet. You can see the Imperial Navy. This is incredible, and the graphics fidelity is insane. It is actually ridiculously insane. But essentially what happens is the battle barge is the... I guess the hub from where all of the missions begin. And here we go, just a casual, you know, Emperor, bit of stained glass artwork there with this insane looking throne. I mean, and the cherubs. This is insane. This is actually insane. But yeah, the missions begin on the battle barge, and then, yeah, you go around. You're basically flying around the system, which I think is pretty cool because you're not just restricted to one planet. And by the way, there's the Honor Guard. Look at the graphics on the Honor Guard. I want to be the Honor Guard. Let me be the Honor Guard. It's insane. Also, I'm not going to spoil stuff, guys, in this video because it's kind of like a bit of a review, a bit of a first impressions, but I just wanted to show how insane this is. So I want to talk about some of this, just the environment again. Still, this is insane. Look at this thing. I'm like, what in the hell is that thing? It looks insane. The scale they've managed to capture in this game, I think, is just phenomenal. You feel massive because you are like a literal 10-foot tall Primaris Space Marine. However, the world itself feels incredibly massive around you. Everything is massive. It is the Warhammer universe, right? Things are meant to be massive, and I think they have nailed that. It's just incredible. Like, if anything, this game, it's just worth the price of admission just for the world you get to exist in. Here we are, again, back on the battle barge. Oh, look, the Chaplain is just giving a sermon because that's what happens on the battle barge. You can see the cherubs flying around as well, and the servo skulls, and yeah, that's an Ultramarines Chaplain. This is actually incredible, guys. Like, I cannot stress to you how incredible this is. Like, I wanted to load the video with loads of examples of this, but I don't want to spoil the game. But there are tons and tons. I mean, a Space Marine gets killed, so you get to see people or other Marines, like, just remembering the Marine. I don't want to spoil stuff, but honestly, guys, it is incredible world building. What about the hangar of the battle barge? Because, yeah, it's going to have Thunderhawk gunships, and you're damn right it's got Thunderhawk gunships. But what they've actually managed to nail here is making the place feel alive. It isn't just like, oh, hey, this is the hangar we go to. It feels alive. This evolves as well. As the game goes on, things change in the hangar. You might actually be coming down to the hangar, and Thunderhawk gunships are coming back in, and they're damaged. They're doing emergency landing. There might be a whole, you know, company of Space Marines down there getting some sort of morale-boosting speech maybe off the Chaplain. I mean, look how that Thunderhawk's landing over there. It's just crazy. It literally blows my mind, this does. And as a 40k fan, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm literally shitting myself watching this. I'm like, I can't believe this has been made. I cannot believe the fidelity of this. I cannot believe how they've nailed it. I literally cannot find fault with the world they have built. It's just incredible. It's Space Marine 1 on acid. It's better in every single way. It's so goddamn cool. I feel like a Space Marine, and that's all I wanted from this game. Right, let's talk about the game, because you're probably thinking like, okay, Sty, great world, whatever. What's the actual gameplay like? Well, this is your basic action game, right? You are a super overpowered Space Marine. You've got a massive arsenal of weapons available to you. You've got melee weapons, you've got ranged weapons, you've got different types of grenades, you've got things like jump packs. You've just got everything, right? There's tons and tons of stuff available to you. However, the way the game is sort of set up is you essentially are moving from arena to arena to arena, just killing all the enemies or completing whatever the objectives may be. The objectives could be simple things like just stay in an area until a thing happens, or kill everything in this area, or reach this sort of location in this time frame. That's basically all you're going to get from the game, but that kind of doesn't matter because the combat system itself, it's very simple. You're not going to get something on the level of like a Dark Souls game, for example, but that's not what we're looking at here. This is just a straight up action game that is designed to make you feel badass. So you've got certain things happening, like you've got light melee attacks, you've got heavy melee attacks, you've got different types of weapons. So obviously you've got the chainsword, but also you've got weapons like the power sword. And the power sword is different to the chainsword, in which the chainsword doesn't have a stance change, but the power sword does. It's sort of, you can change it from really fast attacks, great for single targets, or to wide sweeping area attacks, which is really cool. Obviously you've got things like thunder hammers, which can just absolutely annihilate massive areas of enemies. You can use the jump pack in conjunction with the thunder hammer and smash it into the ground and do tons of damage. But you can also use the chainsword in that regard. Then, of course, you've got loads of pistols, right? Obviously, I really enjoy the plasma pistol, but the bolt pistol itself is really good. You've got little mechanics in the game where you can stagger enemies and then shoot them in the head like a quick snapshot with the bolt pistol or whatever pistol you've got equipped. And that, if they're a heavier enemy, might stagger them a bit more to allow you to execute them, which is a very sort of fancy, flourishing animation as you just destroy whatever enemy you're dealing with. It's actually insane. You've got a parry system. When you see light blue attacks coming towards you, you can parry. But the way this works in concert with the action is incredible. Because if you're looking at the Tyranids, if you're getting absolutely swarmed by a massive wave of Nids, you are like just absolutely scything them down with your chainsword, and then, oh, what's this? Some little filthy Tyranid is going to try and attack me with a special attack. You see it glow blue, you hit your parry. As it flies in, Titus will grab the Tyranid and snap its neck and throw it away, and then you're straight back into the action again. This never gets old. It actually never gets old. It is so goddamn good. I love it. The melee gameplay in this game, it's simple, but the visual quality of it and the way it makes you feel like a goddamn Space Marine killing machine, it is beautiful. It is actually beautiful. There is a loadout system, and before we show that off, just take a look at this. This is the armoring hall, and that's Magos Gallio, I should say. Just look at this place. Just look at this place. I mean, this is insane. This is actually insane. I mean, I think I've said that about 500 times in this video, but I am literally gushing over this game. It is just Space Marine, and I'm loving it. I'm like, this is fantastic. Oh. Anyway, this is the Armory Terminal, which, of course, you can go here and customize your war gear. You can basically select whatever weapons you want at the start of a mission, provided you've unlocked those weapons and provided the mission is, I guess, a sort of level into the campaign, right? Because certain weapons are not available. Obviously, you're not going to get the Thunder Hammer on the first mission in the game. That's not going to happen. However, what you can do here is change your primary weapon, your pistol, or your secondary weapon, and then your melee weapon. You can also change your appearance as well, and do stuff like that. I haven't got any of that unlocked, I don't think, in any of this gameplay footage I'm going to show you guys now. But basically, the idea here is you can tailor your Marine for the missions. The thing is, though, as the missions begin, you'll generally find drop pods all over the place with loads of other weapons anyway. So if you think you've taken the wrong weapon, you'll be able to change it in the mission pretty much at the start of the mission anyway. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. And of course, as the game plays, there is tons of ammo all over the place. And it's very much that sort of action game trope. Before you're about to go into an area where there's tons of enemies, they give you tons of ammo. You will be going into the fight with loads of, you'll have full ammo. You'll have whatever weapons you want to select, and you just sort of go from there. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Now, of course, there are other elements to the game. There is the multiplayer, which, I'll be honest, I haven't played. This is just purely about the single player. I haven't played any of the operations either, which are like these sort of adjacent missions to the single player. They happen at the same time. It's kind of cool because what happens is you get Titus and the main sort of crew, I guess, or the main squad, let's say, going on the actual missions, but then there might be secondary objectives, and Titus is giving the other Marines orders, but you can actually play as those missions, and I believe those are the co-op missions that you can play with your friends. You can also just play the single-player co-op as well with your friends. But anyway, as you can see, yeah, tons of weapons, these have all got weapon skins as well, and obviously the multiplayer component to this will be like leveling up your marine and you know, all of that stuff. But this is just super cool to see. I mean, as a collector of Warhammer, you will play this game and you want to see the high fidelity models because you want to see what you're collecting almost brought to life in the game. And the graphics are incredible. The fidelity is insane. So this is just, it's super, super cool. Let's talk weapon sounds. Listen to this plasma incinerator. Meaty. If that isn't what a plasma incinerator should sound like, I don't know what is. But also I've got a heavy bolt rifle here. Listen to this. Again, it's just insane. They have nailed the sound effects in this game. The weight behind these shots is incredible. It feels great. It's so visceral. Space Marine 1 nailed this as well, and I think they've just taken this to another level with Space Marine 2. Again, I'm going to avoid spoilers here, but there are tons of factions in this game. It isn't just like the first Space Marine, which was, hey, you're against orcs, and hey, you're against chaos, and that's basically it. Nah, this is different. This is like, yeah, you've got the Nids. You've got chaos as well, but, oh, guess what? You've got Astra Militarum, or they'll always be called the Guard to me. You've got the Guard, and then you've got, like, well, quite a few other factions appearing. And then, oh, look, you've got the Adeptus Mechanicum as well. It's like, there is loads in this game. It is awesome. Actually awesome. Like I said, I can't really expand too much on that because it will start spoiling the game, and I don't want to do that because the single-player campaign is beautiful. Right then, so that's what you've got with Space Marine 2. It is a fantastic game if you're a Warhammer 40k fan. If you're not a fan of Warhammer 40k, it could be a good intro into the series because you're getting a really awesome gameplay experience. You're getting that sort of over-the-top combat, which obviously Space Marines are known for. You're in the grimdark universe of the 41st millennium, so it is just a complete, absolute disaster, a war zone, and I think they've nailed the environment. I think probably going to get a massive increase in probably Primaris Marine sales. Games Workshop are because of this. Now, there are things I can't really talk about because, well, not because they're under NDA or anything, but because I don't want to spoil the game for you. I'll give you some little snippets. You've got the whole sort of interplay with Titus being a original Marine. He is not a Primaris Marine. Things happen to Titus at the very start of the game. Again, I'm not going to spoil this because it is, again, super cool. I'll say it involves the Death Watch, but that's all I'm going to say. But then you get turned into a Primaris Marine through the Rubicon surgery, and then you've got the whole dynamic between actual Primaris Marines and what they think of older Marines and what the old Marines think of them, especially the Marines that have been turned into, you know, Primaris Marines. And then you've got, what about Calgar? I think he was the first old or firstborn Marine to actually undergo the surgery, and, well, he survived. So, yeah, and spoiler, Calgar's in this game as well. It's just, honestly, it is actually insane. If you're a fan of 40k, you will fall to your knees playing this game and be like, holy, praise the Emperor. I cannot believe this game has been made. It's literally everything I wanted in a Space Marine sequel. I can see myself playing this. Like I said, I haven't played the multiplayer. The reason why I haven't played the multiplayer is because with this review version of the game, there isn't really any multiplayer you can join. There's not anybody really playing the game. So I'm looking forward to playing that. And I think this is going to be sick. Honestly, you feel like a badass. There are also other things I guess I could touch on. The weapons themselves, it's not particularly like you need certain weapons to complete certain objectives, let's say. Yeah, certain weapons will make it easier. So if you've got Chaos Marines running towards you and you just blasting them with a melter, or you might even have a multi-melter, because of course you do get heavy weapons. They're just random pickups in the game. They're like you get heavy bolts and stuff. Yeah, you can just destroy Marines with melter weapons really fast, whereas if you've just got like a bolt rifle or a bolter, it's not really going to, you know, it's going to take more time to kill them, but you can still kill them. So you can still play that fantasy of like, I just want to be Chainsaw Marine with a bolt pistol, and that's all I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do. And you can totally play the game like that, and that's absolutely fine. Or you can be like, well, I want a power sword and a plasma pistol. Yeah, go and do it. You can do it. It's great. It's really rewarding, this game is. And I have been massively addicted to this game over the last couple of days since I've had access. But I wanted to put this video together to you guys, to show you guys actually that it's incredible. And a lot of you guys will remember from back in the past, I mean, I think I've got a full playthrough of Space Marine on this channel. We covered loads of Warhammer games, loads of stuff like that. It's just, honestly, friggin', this game is incredible. Saber Interactive, what you have built here is absolutely insane. I wish I could say more, but I don't want to spoil the game. You've got more stuff like, as you're just in the world, you know, you're walking around as this absolute, like, you know, you're a Space Marine. People react to you in the world because of that. The Imperial Guard will be like, oh my lord, the angels are here, and they'll all bend down and bow before your glorious presence. But then there's like a Bane blade. I was going to say a Beyblade, not a Beyblade. A Bane blade just driving by. It's like, what is this? There's Lehman Russes just blasting stuff. Honestly, it is insane. It is actually crazy. All right, guys, if I haven't sold you on this game, I don't even know how I can. Go and buy this game. If you're a Warhammer fan, you need to own this game. It is so good. I don't know what else I can say about the game. I'm literally enamored with this game. It's fantastic. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I've been Stylos. If you enjoyed that, then let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below, and I'll catch you a lot on the next one. I can highly recommend this game, though. What a game.